Welcome back to Metroid Prime 4. This time I remembered to turn the audio back on. Oh yeah, we're saved in the middle of the desert. That's right. There was some stuff I wanted to pick up as well, because I know that there's some more stuff out here that we can get. I just have to look at how much of it we can actually pick up now. We got the... Yeah, sorry, one moment here. That notification on Firefox because it's annoying me. Remember my controls. Remember that my compass is kind of pointing in a direction here. Yeah, it's a bit to the north of the entrance to Fury Green here, so... Go back and get those green crystals. Because remember, this is what they wanted you to do with a Metroid game. I mean, again, I guess technically Metroid games are kind of like the, the ancestors of a lot of this open world stuff, but not on this level. There's usually at least a lot of stuff to do between them, so... Man, all this is really making me think is how much I never got anything done in Skyrim. I hit a point where it's like, hey, yeah, you can build stuff to make a house, and I just kind of did that forever. Or like vampires or something. I think some NPC got killed at Riften or one of those towns. I don't recall exactly, but if my memory is what it is, which it's not. I know that doesn't sound very sensible, but hey. You'd be correct to make that assumption, but I digress. Yeah, no, I didn't think that would work, but I don't know what this oscillation thing they want out of me is yet. Maybe it's just a weapon we don't have yet. In fact, that seems the most likely. Like, sure, all the concussive blast anything references in those all make sense, but this, not so much when you're just sort of like assembling terms into some sci-fi nonsense that doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's pop into this, and yeah, I see our green energy meter there is not very high, but maybe that's because I deposited some already. That's meddling with things. Anyway. Well, whatever the case may be. Let's have a look around here. Yeah, that is a thing that we can set on fire. That makes sense. Oh, for a sec I thought that was some sort of cracked wall, but no, it just looks the part, really. Okay, yeah, and that's a psychic door. First, we've got to burn off the crap, and then we can use that thing. Pick up some more green stuff. Oh, hey, I'm trying to scan the weird bug. Now, surely, it's a good idea to simply burn everything, right? We all know that this is the best use of our time, energy, resources, and money. Listen, everybody loves high temperatures, right? That's clearly why all those executives are doing all that shit with the AI that, like, burns up all the water and everything, and is contributing massive amounts of emissions that are ruining the environment in various ways. Right? That's gotta be it. Either that or they're also very stupid. Oh, wait. Yeah, obviously. Never mind. Suddenly that part makes a lot more sense now that I say it. I apologize. Now, thankfully, despite the existence of beam ammo in this game, the amount that we have right now is decent, provided that we use this stuff halfway well. Ah, I see. There's still a bunch more on the ceiling. Alright. Makes sense. A little bit hard to tell necessarily what is or is not the correct targets to burn here. What's up with that hole? There's something out there that I should go and set on fire, and that'll help us. So, I mean, this place is called the Ladder of Thought Shrine, right? So if there's some sort of, like, upward motions I have to do overall, that would be remarkably sensible, in fact. Oh, what was that blue thing? Was that ammunition restoration? Well, yeah. 5, which is okay, but it's interesting that it's only half of a tank, unlike in previous games. So, have I missed some? Oh, yes, I have. Ah, yes, Ladder of Thought. That makes a little bit more sense, actually, then. It's like that. Okay, can I lift this while I'm on top of it? Just... Oh, I saw targeting for a second there. Okay, they hold. I thought for some reason that they sank if you just, like, let go of them early. I think it's because I'm getting that tiny bit of the stick backlash, and it's very small, but... this is a cheap controller that I'm using on the Switch. It was only like $30 or something. And remember, it came from GameStop, so it is probably worth like $6 at best. And even that might be a bit of a stretch. Okay, so how am I going to get to that thing? Because there's that over there. I'll double check. Is there anything else to burn here? There appears to be... Nope. But I did kind of done screw up there. I remember earlier I saw this like weird no, it was literally just that tunnel. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's much easier than I thought it would be. See, what I thought was, looking at that surely I would have to, like... jump my way in there somehow. Or that I would have to come in from the other room or something. And then I guess that does not necessarily really explain how in the hell I would get through there entirely, because the idea then would be like, how do I get across there, right? Because that's quite far. Now also I'm a little bit confused again, so... let's see, how much fire shit is there still to burn down in here? But for the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use this in order to track our path a little bit more. Get a little bit more camera angle, and there's a passage there. Alright, get another control beam shot there, and see... I was really hoping that I'd be able to actually figure out a way to get to where the entrance of it was. But, no such luck. Nothing there for us, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this, because... No, that, not this. I have to figure out where that path starts. Because surely there's no way for me to get over there from here. I can't, like... I'd have to do a really crazy-ass bomb jump pattern to pull that off, I think. And I am not that good. Oh, okay, so it's literally right here. It's much easier than it looked. That's good. I just didn't see the hole there. Once again, couldn't find the hole. Or something, I don't know. Listen, I'm just setting these jokes up for all of you to Be like, oh, she said the thing. Hey, here we are. Take a look at this. You got anything to say, Statue Man? Well, let's burn all the extra stuff off anyway first, and then we pick up. The charged fire shot. Excellent. So, from what I've been told, from what I've seen, there are 2 upgrades for every beam, but it doesn't matter what order you get them in. The first one is always going to be the charge shot, and then there's going to be the whatever the super weapon is for it, I guess. Whatever, I forget actually what the second upgrade is. I'm assuming that it's basically the rough equivalent of a like super missile type of weapon. And that'll be the second one that we get. So, hey, they have progressive style collectibles in this game. Kind of like in a randomizer. Listen, it's just a smart game design choice. In some way or another. Anyway, touch the orb. And I think there's some more stuff we can get out here in the desert before we go to the ice location. Which, do we have a name on that yet? No, we don't. I thought we did. For some reason, but it's clear that I was just imagining that. Okay, yeah, seeing that over in the distance, it did make me wonder for a second. Was this gonna be like your average big desert in a Nintendo console game? Where there's just some sort of major item that's... Shut up! There's just some sort of major item out there in the middle of the area. Well, I mean, okay, good, he is at least telling us to go there, so that's sensible, but... You know, kind of like the one free-floating spirit in the middle of the desert in Quest 64, for example. If there's going to be something like that where there's just a fucking energy tank out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere that you just have to stumble across... Or like you're looking for certain resources in Satisfactory, for example. Is another good example of that. Or, gee, I want to say that I think Borderlands does something like that too. But I can't remember for sure. Either way, not particularly a game style that I relish. I just happen to know a lot of them because there are so many of them, and because, unfortunately, my tastes are shockingly mainstream, despite any of my way of acting otherwise. It just sort of means that I end up playing a lot more of them than I would ever enjoy doing. Round the wheel, how are ya? How was your first day back with students? I believe was either today or yesterday. Very recently, though. Of course, the days are a little bit muddled, sore. Yeah, perhaps understandable. Well, time to have a mostly good group. That's great. Meanwhile, the real problem is going to be the state when they find you have that one book in your classroom. Which one was it? It was one of them. But, you know, that's the state government of Texas for you. And we got to remember that it is a matter of the government. You know, there's good people mostly everywhere in the world. Presumably everywhere in the world. But also, yeah. God, I wish that meter would give me a little better appropriation of, well, anything really. If they could just tell me, like, numbers. Even the devs don't know how many of these fucking green crystals they have in the game. They're just like, yeah, just put a lot of them everywhere. Make it like the golden bananas. Except that Samus doesn't do a little fanfare and a jig every time she gets one. Listen, it's okay. We don't need to have that stuff in anymore. This game is T-rated. Which I didn't even realize. For some reason, I thought it was in the E10 range. But I don't know. Maybe the aliens emit a little too much juice when they get exploded. Or maybe it's just the Entertainment Software Ratings Board assigning a few points at random here and there. Just like when they rated Super Smash Bros. Melee a T. Somebody's going to point something out that would actually qualify it, and I don't remember. So, because, honestly, when's the last time I played Melee was a very long time ago. I've slowly turned into not the biggest fighting game fan over the years. I mean, I respect the hell out of them, but I think I just acknowledge that I suck at them, so... One of these days, I'll become vaguely capable at one of them. I used to be okay-ish at K. Rool in Smash Ultimate, but that's about it. And like technically, I could do stuff as Gold Lewis in Strive, but that's about it. And granted, I played very little of Strive, but even then. So you might be saying, well, Delia, you've said a lot about how you really wanted to go back and play the old Soul Calibur 2 for the Game Boy. That's probably mostly due to nostalgia, let's be honest here. I am powered very heavily by that. Who could imagine? It's a little bit hard to not look at the past and go like, yeah, I think on average things might have been better. When you look at where we're at in the present, you know, we've got a guy who's in charge of the Department of Health who is just this close to being like, yeah, by the way, leeches. That's a good idea. And like, I don't know what to say to you about that, you know, other than that, just like, Screw it. Let's be really extravagant about this thing and waste that whole boost. To make absolutely sure we're going fast enough. I could just get off the bike and shoot the rocks, but I don't really feel like it. I feel like I need some actual music in this area. Or like a little bit more sense of ambiance other than just like, hey, you like this motorcycle noises? Particularly in fucking Metroid, like, we are kind of talking about a series that is generally also held in fairly high regard for its soundtrack, among many other things. Like, maybe not the most so out of all video games, but probably one of the bigger ones among some Nintendo properties, I feel like. Then again, it's always hard to tell with stuff like that, so. Regardless, it's a bit of a choice to be in an area like this, you know, and just have like almost no music to it, or in an area anywhere really and have almost no music to it. Whoa. Oh boy, I'm surprised we pulled that off. Unfortunately, I am failing to take my own advice about hit the brakes in order to do the quick turns, because it seemed like it was not working that well earlier in the game when we were like actually testing this out on the part where we had to get our driver's license. Where Samus was at the DMV, which, like I said in the description for the last VOD when I uploaded it on YouTube, that literally just kind of sounds like a comedy sketch that you would see on the internet in like 2009 or something. Back in an era where the video sites wouldn't let you use custom thumbnails. Excuse me. Yeah, that seemed like quite a location to be in there. Whatever, what's down here? Looks like just one of these, which is a boost refiller. Also gives you some speed. I really wish the camera turned with you while you were doing your tighter turns. Otherwise, it's like, oh, now I gotta turn both sticks to turn? You know, that's not how that works, but you don't literally have to. It's just, I don't know, I think it just feels really bumpy. Feels slightly off, and I think slightly off is just kind of a, I don't know, slightly off would probably almost feel worse than just like, you know, completely different. It's perhaps slightly unnecessary. Incorrect. Doing that again. Catch me out here, not remembering how these controls work for some reason. Hey, can we do anything around here? Denzium. So I believe that is saying, hey, yeah, use your power bombs. Especially because it's specifically flagging it as destructible. Grapple nodes. Hey, bug. Did we not have that thing scanned before? Huh. Old ring in the area, is that... Is that just pings coming off the one thing, or what? Oh, did we lose range for that? Oh, hey. Ah, yes, I see. This is a different type of Griever, apparently. Ah, it's a Sand Griever. Alright, then. This is a place that's going to require us to use the grapple beam that we don't have yet, so... We're the fuck out of here, I guess. I don't need to fight those guys. Be a huge waste of my time and possibly some other resources, but jury's still out on that one a little bit. Some more of this stuff. Some more green stuff. Doing that again. I think part of it is also that I'm just not used to games using this much of the shoulder buttons. For just like regular actions and stuff. Whoa, don't go too far there. Let's go and investigate this thing. Okay, yeah, that wants an ice beam. That's gonna have to be left alone for now. Like pausing for a second to scratch my nose and I hit the wrong button, but hey, whatever. It's fine. Oh no, you got to see my screen. Let's use that thing, and what do we got going on around here? So far, shockingly little. This place will be the Sorcerer's Spring Shrine. No, I'm trying to grab the Psychic Stone, game. Come on. We're even looking at it for a second, and then suddenly, oop! Gonna start scanning now. Look, you'll... Choice. That missile pack would be nice. Can I just get to it? Yeah, I see it. Place I can just ball up here and get it. Very nice. But unfortunately, I don't believe we can actually solve this right now. Due to a lack of tools on our part here. Anything to say here? Can we enter these? Doesn't seem like it. Oh, it's turning quite green, yeah, so... let's return to the Altar of Legacy and drop that off in a moment or so. But... just want to do a quick scan of anything else here. Yeah, I think this is basically all the stuff that we need. Alright, does that actually not let us use it on the minimap or anything to... fuck? Really? That's dumb. That's dumb. Alright, I guess we're just gonna make our way there the old-fashioned way here. But, as long as I'm in the area, let me pick that up. Hitting the Marauder with our weird frisbee thing there. Okay, we are almost back there. I got distracted quite a bit, as you can see. Wow, we spent like an hour on that. That's incredible. This much before we go and get ourselves frozen, you know? Okay, so before we take the big gun, there is one thing to get in here. I think it's this way, in fact. Yeah, I completely neglected to recheck this. Can't wait to get blocked at the last second. That'd be stupid. But no, here we go. There's still a shot expansion. Let's see what the charge shot looks like here. Like, obviously we're not going to get to see full-on usability, but... Ah, I see. So it's just, like, 3 in sort of a spiral pattern. Very fast charging, it seems, too. Which, I appreciate that part. Under other circumstances, that'd probably be a concern. And yet, we get caught by the other gun, because that's the thing that guns can do. They can catch you, for some reason. This universe, anyway. Okay, and it's left when we enter the base camp. Gotcha. No, that definitely is wanting an electric beam. It's just that when they said the electrode thing earlier, I was confused. Correct direction? Yeah. Yes, yes, I'm handing in my crystal bits here. As we got ourselves a quarter of the meter, and... oh yeah, something's happening. Heck yeah. Oh, they're not even going to just, like, drop an item at us? It just sort of gets projected into our brains. Shots now travel farther and are more damaging. All right. Excellent. You'll love to see it. Oh, and it comes with a new color palette, too. That's pretty nice. That's a good little touch there. Helps you know more or less how far along you are in terms of gun power.
Hey, welcome back.
You're gonna talk at me every time I enter or disappear. Yeah, every time I go into or leave that room, there's going to be this annoying man flirting with me. If only he was a real character. Fortunately. Alright. Alrighty. Back to work and back to getting sent to the cold place. That's right. Samus has been reassigned to Siberia for insubordination or something. Suspended from bounty hunting for 24 hours for insubordination. Actually, that's only half a joke. So, I live in the Midwest, which I think I've made quite open before. I'm not going to go into too many details more about where. Honestly, like, saying anything on the internet is basically just doxing yourself because there's some very, you know, people who are very good at finding that information, but who also are complete sociopaths who believe that they should at any point. So, yeah, family lives in the Midwest. There's been horrible storms, obviously, some pretty serious shit. There were multiple tornado sirens that went off yesterday. And this all happened while my dad was at work as well. So, they wanted basically to send him into a very not safe-looking storm shelter to take shelter from the fact that there were some pretty serious storms out there. I know, it's super obvious when I put it this way, but like he was like, yeah, that doesn't seem safe. And basically, yeah, so his boss basically suspended him from it for a day for what was described as insubordination, for not wanting to go into the unsafe storm shelter that basically was just there to appease the fact that we live in the Midwest and, you know, we have weather that can kill you at the drop of a hat. Which exists everywhere, but, I mean, I know it exists here. Anyway, so basically, I think the funny part about all of this is that today we had some pretty serious storms coming through again. We didn't have tornado sirens at any point, but it was still a day of some severe weather, so I think it's a thing of, like, an interesting bit of note that it's like, hey, at least now you don't have to ever think about having to go into the terribly unsafe storm shelter that your terrible boss has for the specific purpose of, well, they'll get mad at us if we don't. Ah, I see the platforms over here. I didn't see these before, I don't think. So, anyway, yeah, that's all. Just a fun story. That my dad was like, well, if I'm gonna die either way, what's the point? And the boss got mad at him because, you know, how dare he have any sort of regard whatsoever for his life? Right? It's not literally that, I suppose, in this case, but still. Anyway, destroy all companies. All of them. 201. Speaking of destroy all companies, 201. Twitch is out here forcing people to opt out of having their stuff mined for AI, which they just implemented today. If you're watching on Twitch, you will see a reference to that in the title of my stream and how to opt out. And of course, Twitch did this because nobody would opt in if they made it an opt-in. Which is also like, hey, in that case, maybe you shouldn't do that. Have you ever considered that idea? And the answer is, of course they did, and they didn't care, because it's Twitch, and also all of these companies, to be honest with you, just feel like they're entitled to your personal data and everything else, that, like, it's totally okay for them to steal all that shit. Okay, so why is it a thing that keeps saying for wheeled vehicles if... Okay, so I guess we can just walk onto it. So that's odd. Huh. Anyway. Oh, hey, if y'all want to play the most divisive, probably one of the most divisive 3D Mario games, Super Mario Sunshine is now available on the Switch 2 for, through the GameCube Classics thing. Obviously, I can't do it through that because I don't have a Switch 2, but you know what I do have? A copy of Sunshine and a GameCube. I can just play it the old-fashioned way. I don't even have to deal with using Dolphin or anything and having it be like, oh yeah, by the way, this disk image is an NKit type, so it's going to load really slowly. And then I have to go and look at it and be like, can I get a version that's not that? Open? And yeah, they literally just tell you the solution. I mean, okay, yes, the scan was always going to tell you that it's a bomb slot, but they don't have to tell you literally, hey, yeah, the gate that's linked to this will open up because it's linked to it. They could just be like, hey, yeah, it's a gate. Good luck destroying it, idiot. And then you figure out the other thing on your own, and you know, for some vague definitions of figure out. That's... No, I wanted to know more about the crane. Grapple crane, apparently. Which I guess is arguably a thing that, like, practically any crane would be. I don't know. Now that I think about it. Well, anything with any sort of, like, mechanical claw to it. As opposed to just a hook. But I assume that that's not something that's related to us needing the grapple beam at some point. Pretty nasty noises that thing makes when it's, I guess just because it's so protracted, really. I bet a charged fire shot could have taken that out, but I don't think I needed to. Ah, yes, we've now moved on to an era where LEDs exist, for sure, as opposed to just being glowing, whatever strange glowing objects we had before that were just kind of like blue things. And here we are in the ice belt. Location names in this game are a little bit underwhelming. At least in my opinion. Not that there weren't some that were just sort of like, eh, in previous games. But I don't know, compare like Phendrana Drifts to Ice Belt. Or like, you know, Torvus Bog or something like that. They sound like places. These are just vague descriptions. I mean, I guess this isn't a very well-known planet or anything. At least it doesn't seem like it is, but... Alright, what's up with the wolf pack here? Anything else to say here? Okay, yeah, so it's just saying, hey, use the fire beam. You gotta wait until they actually attack you. I think. Well, certainly you can't get them while they're running in the ring here. Unfortunately, I feel that they are, like, howling a little too quietly, which is kind of the big tell of where you'll be able to see them, because... Oh, no, you do have radar. I mean... Unfortunately, it's literally one of those things where it's like, I never use the radar on these games. They also don't come in that far before they start attacking you inside of this ring. So it could just kind of look like a bit of a weird aberration in their movement patterns. Oh, so yeah, well, these guys, yeah, they're literally just called snow wolves. No even attempt at a name of in any way more special than Snow Wolf. Look, there is nobody who is going to look over at a Metroid game and go, oh yes, the first thing that I'm concerned about is the writing. But oh boy, the writing in this game is shit! Like, man. You've managed to make Miles McKenzie seem likable because at least he's got a little bit of sauce. And granted, that sauce is also like liquid diarrhea, but it's something. Also, yeah, you see what I mean? I'm trying to use the radar, but it doesn't feel like it's helping very much. Also, that energy nodule just disappeared. I mean, these guys are getting significantly more aggressive as they go. Why are there, like, why are there so many of these guys? Like, seriously? There's like 100 of these fuckers. At least. Why? That's obnoxious. Yes, I know that I missed that one, but I was targeting it on originally with the scan visor, and then the game's like, by the way, no. Also, it switched me over to the missiles for some reason, which, I mean, not that those are bad, but hey. Yeah, this radar is not helping whatsoever for this, like... And it would be fine if these things weren't so fucking quiet when they make a very obvious howling noise. The music is drowning them out so badly. How am I supposed to find out where they're coming from unless I literally just spin the stick constantly? I guess the running plague of video games not having good audio balance from the 2000s has simply never ended. Also, yeah, no real progress bar, by the way. It's just like, you take a rough estimate of how many of these, like, 8 trillion of these guys that you've actually killed. And in fact, while I'm trying, I'm not necessarily succeeding, but it definitely seems like, as far as I've been able to track, the number doesn't feel like it's very consistent right now, so... Fuck! Oh my god, it's literally not even a... There's no way you can tell how far into the fight you are. There's no way you can tell how far into the fight you are. It's just deal with this until the cutscene happens. Fuck you! Whoever's at Retro, I hope you lost your job for that. And I hope you never work in this business ever again. Garbage! Garbage, garbage, garbage! Also, yeah, we have no boost ball, so we can't really ball up a distance here. And we're not allowed to get on our motorcycle, so now I have to hoof it back to the save point nice and slowly. Be afraid of getting ambushed by something for the 1 damage it'll take to kill us. Like if one of these things decides to shoot spines suddenly. As we get to listen to no music, just a low energy alarm. Which, I mean, okay, maybe a low energy alarm is not necessarily a bad thing. But taking away the music? Also, it definitely feels a little bit more annoying sounding than the one in previous Prime games. Just barely, but again, minor issue. Oops. I stubbed my toe on that thing for some reason. Well, you know what, buddy? I was going to leave you alone, but not anymore. Now I'm upset because... Boy, when this game falters, it kind of, like, throws itself straight at the ground with great force. Ah, yes, they won't let me use the fast travel across this room yet. Right place? Yeah. It's just that scan is literally of a vehicle that we've seen before, which, fair enough. Oh, now we're getting a little bit of reduced frames here. And an incredibly bright light around that thing. But this, oh yeah. I have a feeling I'm very soon going to be in a position where I don't like those guys, so I'm just sort of getting my kicks in now while I can. Alright, that requires the electric beam, which we don't have yet.
All clear. I never thought I'd meet the legendary bounty hunter, Samus.
In a place like this.
Ah, yes, here we go.
Fed sniper, Herc Unit Delta.
Got some of these
Good to
guys.
finally cross paths with you, but tell me, where are we? We were deep in gunfire. I lost visuals, then woke with a busted comms unit and a leg to match. Now, I tried to access this terminal, but the only thing I could get operational was the gun. That's it. Then I see this here. What do you make of it?
I say, seeing a human face in a series like this looks weird. Hey, what do you got?
Oh, you were able to activate this. A map of the facility. But it's corrupted.
Oh.
Ah,
Ooh.
you want to go there. In that case, this elevator is the only way down. But the
If only you
power's
could
offline.
explain the situation,
One
but,
There. That must be the generator room.
you know,
I think we can bring it back to
I think
life.
people are soured on dialogue per se, you know. Samus saying anything in Metroid games due to, well,
All right.
you know.
You have the map. I'm no good with this leg, so I'll have to keep an eye on you from here. Luck be with you.
All right. Well, that seems like an easy enough task to at least figure out how to get to. Now, this is another cryopod. I was gonna say it looks like a big boot, just from the way that it's shaped.
That is one powerful turret.
Oh, it did a lot of work, dude. It helped
I'll keep an eye on things for you.
helped us out significantly earlier. I'll tell you that much. Bombable? Strong shock will destroy it. Well, you mean this kind of strong shock? Yes. I was gonna say, you mean electricity? That would be a problem. Because then I'd have to go Well, where do I go to actually move on then? Snow roach. I think this is a regular cockroach, really, but, you know. Don't let me tell you what to do. Whoa, hey, hey, hey. Oh, they are not one and done type of fellas. I thought they were something else, judging by the look, that's all. A one shot? Yeah. Nice and easy. Hey! This game's variant of the Shriek Bat does a lot of damage, I see. At least it feels like a lot of damage. 30 a hit? I mean, then again, we're deep-ish into the game. We've certainly made an amount of progress. One thing I admit I'm not a huge fan of with this game, just like sort of stylistically, there's a lot more stuff that's just like laboratories and like various indoor locations and all like high tech, which is weird to say for a sci-fi thing, but I mean, I liked the more environment-y exploration of a lot of the prior games. Oh, it can only be opened from the other... Not even with the fire shot? Not even with, like, charging it up? Oh, am I... I don't know what you're getting at. Am I doing it in the wrong order or something? Do I need to get the actual passcode thing from somewhere? Regardless, I believe that's mostly just a thing that we have to go and deal with elsewhere. We also don't have the psychic lasso to pull that off the door there, so... Yep, off we go. Over here. I'll just be the screen, which is a separate scan for some reason. Data add to the logbook. Ah, I gotcha. Oh, wrong button. That's the one we used to jump when we're in ball form. It's related-ish, but Only kind of.
Samus?
Only kind of.
You hear me? I patched into the facility speakers. I could use them to communicate.
Neat.
I noticed that several rooms were unlocked at once. That was you, wasn't it? Nice. Proceed with caution. You never know what's lurking.
His voice has got a little bit of the Colonel in it. Very, very like, yeah, okay, it's Timu Roy Campbell, but you know, it's got a little touch of Roy Campbell in it. And that thing is blocked by a lasso unit. Which honestly, I couldn't place if that's what it was offhand. I was only guessing because I've seen a couple of those so far. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Sweep those up real quick. This will take us over to the next room. This is the place that was locked by an ice wall, wasn't it? Just taking a guess here. Interesting symbol. And that is a thing that's got like a claw end on it of some kind. I'm going to assume that's going to be our yeah, that's got to be the psychic lasso. Absolutely. I knew that from the way it was so thin and like kind of wibbly. Anyway, first of all, let's scan this thing. Now, hold on. I thought I read what that did correctly, but I'm wrong. The object, hold ZL, use... Click the stick to... Click the left stick. Okay. I mean, sure, why not? I guess, good that we're using them, but oh my goodness, that feels so, wrong to do on a lot of modern controllers. Not necessarily because they're bad at it. I think a little bit is like the... Like, okay, this cheap-ass controller, it's got the sort of tactility that comes with doing it on like a PS2 controller. But man, a lot of others simply do not. And so in the back of my head, I'm like, that can never possibly be correct, right? Pop this open. This is going to show us the ice wall, isn't it? Which just broke off. Well, fair enough. I think it wants us to insert spheroid. Which actually kind of looks a little bit... Not... I mean, obviously it's not exactly the same shape as what we've got here anyway, but... I'm looking at that like, is that the dark suit ball that they're using for the like silhouette there? And I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it's the fucking dark suit ball. You know, that thing from a game that's now 25 years old-ish? It's less than 25, but it's a while. And I feel that it's no longer reasonable to assume that people have played it if they're playing this one. And because Ninty is so bad at actually putting any of that stuff onto their eShops. Okay, so we got to rotate this into the right shape, right? Ah, I see what's up here, kind of. Anyway, yeah, that honestly is a fairly minor gripe in the greater scheme of things, but it is just a thing that I was struck by, that it's like, huh, that is so weird that it's that shape instead of one that makes sense for this game. And I guess, you know, do your own thing there, Retro, but like, Retro Studios, not anyone who occasionally comes in or not. But, huh, just, what the hell? Okay, yeah, the closer you get, the more resistance you sort of feel in your rotation. But yeah, that's collected all the telekinesis code fragments, apparently. So we do still have another room to explore, so we may as well. More stuff for the logbook. We probably want those. I assume there's some sort of reward for 100% logbook, because there usually is. Okay, I see what I gotta do now. It's giving me the puzzle solution now that I have access to it. I didn't notice that enter at the time. I mean, fair enough, they should tell you that at the end, but... because otherwise, how the devil am I supposed to decode that shit? But, hey.
Whatever you're doing, it's working. Keep it up.
Yeah, same basic enemy design. Honestly, I think it's more durable just by being a light maintenance tank, it feels like. Maybe that shouldn't be the direction that works in, but whatever. This wouldn't be the first time any of that was weird, right? Okay, so this is going to be another one of these, right? What's going on here? Get materials, otherwise indestructible. We're going to have to find another way around, I guess. That's fine. That up. That actually be a thing that worked? I don't know. Eh. Anyway, I didn't actually have to ball up to get in there. Back to the missile. Thanks a lot for re-aiming that for me, weird bug. Ah, the glare. Yeah, you can tell what they really want you to do with that, but I was just using a missile instead for some reason. Some poisonous liquid. Oh, hey. I guess we were slightly off there. There we go. Out of 4 we need on this floor. Okay. As we gotta do a bunch of exploration and like back pathways and stuff here. I'll deal with that some more in a moment here. I think, yeah, there's just another big crane up there and stuff. But here's one of these things. Give that a yank. Unless we're upstairs for some... which would be rather stupid, because... yeah. These places don't seem to, like, straight up link to each other anyway, so... Definitely not the crane that we saw earlier. There we go, easy as. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that it was that simple, really. But hey. Oh, well, that's quite unfortunate. Oh no, our thing ran out of batteries. So is this where we get ambushed if we open this last one? Come on, give me some like proper horror shit here. Nope, it appears to be dead. Unless they suddenly become zombie grievers for some reason, which kind of goofy. And it's the pipe emitting some vapor, turning into a steam pipe, you know. Oh good, it's full of steam. So we probably just go back to the hub and we open all those 3 doors. Again, though, not much in terms of music here, huh? Almost a little too subtle. But I mean, it's not really that off from the laboratories in Prime 1. Then again, it probably felt a little different in that case because you were getting ambushed all the time, so... That's a really easy missile X-Pack. I thought it was going to be something a little bit more complicated than that, but... Nope, just use a regular bomb on it. And we don't have power bombs yet, so... I wonder if this game will be like Dread and you get the power bombs in like the last 10 minutes of the game, basically. And then you just sort of get left in the that just raises further questions sort of loop. Alright, so that should basically open this thing up, and then there's probably going to be a code that we can get from either scanning this thing or doing the puzzle or whatever. Yeah, okay, so it's literally just scan it and then you do the psychic manipulation on this thing until you form this shape. And we get code number 3 out of 4. Anything you can tell me about this now? Oh, no, like, real lore, just, hey, here's some tech specs for this thing that barely makes sense. Alright, now an area to explore. So not having read the lore too closely, other than just the stuff that you get out of the scans, it appears that they were doing some sort of science experiments on the Grievers. I mean, huh. I mean, yeah, a couple of these are still tagged as being alive, so I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they, like, sort of ambushed us, you know? Again, it very much feels like the place for that sort of thing to happen. But also because we're also sort of in the labs again. This game is just sort of This game is just Metroid Prime 1, so. Oh, we want to use that, right? Yeah, there we go. Ball hop in and fight these things. Super duper easy. And then we continue to scan. I just wasn't sure. And we can open this, however, right? Yeah. Yeah, see, we're still getting the music in this area. God, is it like positionally related? It's behaving very oddly. But also, what am I missing? This seems like the end of the road here. Unless I gotta go back to that other area that I was at. Okay. Is that what I had to do? It's emitting a lot of radio noises. Like, something is clearly going on here. What have I missed? There was another door that was blocked there. I want to double check that that's the thing that I can actually deal with. Oh. Oops. Oh, there's a missile pack in there. How do we get to that? I guess it's behind the other side of the thing, then. Is that... Okay, yeah, that's what that is. Oh, that's what that is. Did we go this way? We did not, but it is just a save station. Well, it wouldn't hurt to save anyway. Oh, I feel real dumb right now. I really want to know what I'm missing here. Because, yeah, we can't get into these. The circuits are damaged. I guess just try to look into these rooms as best as possible. Yeah, there's that. I don't see a way to get inside of there, though. Unless... No, I think it would have to be behind the wall. I didn't say take a look in the missile room and see if I can see anything in there. But I don't think I see anything there either. So, yeah, let's suck that energy back up. And now just sort of go, is there really anywhere else that I know if I can go? And it looks like the surgery bay is the only real room that I haven't completed, because that's where I... Right? This is the place that I was just in. I don't think this is, actually. This might be a different one, but... Yeah, this is a different one. I apologize. I'm getting these rooms a little bit confused. Yeah, over here we just have this tube. We have this impassable shield here. So, like, what am I missing from this room? These are both the same. We didn't get a symbol in here. Has just a little green light on it. Is it that this thing is frozen over? Yes! I just didn't see that properly. We pull down the monitor. And there's our last TK code. There we go. I'm slowly starting to forget, by the way, the fact that TK is short for telekinesis. Just feels like something different here. Well, that's my fault, because I didn't even see that properly. So, big whoopsie there. Let's make our way back. Alright, so now I still don't exactly know how to get to that missile pack, but this gets us somewhere anyway.
Shamus, looks like you made it through another floor. You're getting close to the generator.
Yes, but I would really like to know how to get to that missile pack. Maybe I can't get it yet. Yeah, that's the outside, so probably want to be careful and not smash those up too much. But we can see what that thing is. It's a wind turbine. Okay, so it's rotating. I thought it was like deforming in some weird way. It's not. That's just me seeing it wrong. I was about to be like, the fuck do you mean? That's like undulating too much to really be that, but hey. I missed that scan again because I just didn't see the enemy in time. Yeah, they're doing the positional effect thing with the music a little too much, honestly. Offline, yeah. Do we have a way to get around here? I mean, I guess... Yes, we do. I thought for a second this was just going to be a path for traveling with the thing, but I'm wrong. Oh, God, I don't like that. Oh, this makes me unwell. I don't do well with this sort of thing. Whoa. Strong winds. Ah. That's cool. I'm very happy for this. Alright, what's with this thing? Hit it with a missile. And that... Oh, Lord. That is upsetting. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Why? Oh, I know why. Never mind. Oh. Yikes. And, of course, that's a one-use bridge. Good stuff. I'm real glad. We're going to have to find another way to get out of here. Cool. I should be so lucky, you know. Fuck. Okay, yeah, it's gonna tell me this thing's offline. Whatever. Oh, wrong object. Wrong tool. Yeah, the way that the side weapons are handled in this is a little bit weird, at least to me. Feels a little bit weird anyway. Dude, will I ever be able to scan those guys? Sheesh. Alright, so here's where we gotta do some ball game here. Right? Or maybe not yet. Yeah, we have to power the thing that can give something power. As you do, right? And of course, there's the little ice bugs around everything, so that way you're actually able to shoot those properly. Okay, yeah, it's an electric lock, and this is just a... another thing. That's my bad. I thought for a second that was a lasso object, but... I'm being dumb here. And I jumped straight into those guys again. Fuck's sakes. I think I just need to keep scan visor on the whole time, basically, and be like, hey, yeah, anytime something is slightly green, scan and also look out below. Oh, good lord, what is this nonsense? Oh, this is the generator, then. I thought for sure that we were a good ways away here. Yep, alright. So, now what do we do? Some stuff on the ground. I don't know why I thought this was just going to be a gap. Okay, this thing has some handles on it, so... Okay, alright, actually. I get you now. Probably. No, I gotta pull the thing down, huh? Yeah, because it's not connected. It's making a... Otherwise, it's making a spark gap. Oh, Buddy, I cannot spider ball right now. Yeah, I need access to the psychic spider ball to do that. What's up with you? Yeah, okay, we've already seen that. We can extend it with a nice yank. So now we should be able to come over here and do some stuff, right? If I move around correctly, yes, but hey. Oh. That's just showing me the state the thing is in. Okay. Strong burst of energy to the center. So is that going to be throw a bomb or a charge ball? By a charge ball, I mean a charge beam. Okay, yeah, that thing is still offline, so... Yeah, there's no way for me to do that. What? Do I control beam through it? That seems like the most logical course of action. I just have to actually do it right, I guess. I don't see a viable target for that. Okay, I see what you're about here. We gotta find these other hatches. I thought they were gonna be attached to the middle of the thing. Why are people saying they doubled the amount of content in Bubsy 4D when they really just released the other half? Well, I think it's because people will still say that the version that's released on the launch day constitutes the final released version of the game, i.e. the 1.0, and anything else is extra additions, which I think is not necessarily unfair, because the idea of games being released in parts is still a little bit of a bizarre concept on some levels. Okay, so we actually did land that one. I didn't notice that we did that properly, so that's good. And I don't disagree with you, really. But I am also just kind of like, hey, I'm glad that it's slightly less microscopic now. Not for nothing, but Bubsy 4D was very short, and up until the release of the new content pack, whatever they wish to call it, you know, they're like free DLC kind of stuff. I mean, I feel that there's a lot of let's call it salesmanship happening with regard to how Fabros was approaching referring to it. And I'll be a little bit mean about the game and about the dev, which goes very specifically that I'm glad that there's a Bubsy game that is good, but also I looked over at like the previews and stuff for Demon Tides, and there are some HUD elements in that game which was released just months to the side of when Bubsy 4D was released. There are some like HUD elements and shit in that are legitimately identical. So you know, good on them for making the good Bubsy game finally, but first of all, that thing did not ship complete, and second of all, they just took some of their assets from another one of their own games, so, you know, that level of shortcutting might be going a little far, right? When you've reached the point where it's like, okay, you're ripping yourself off, if we wish to say it politely, and if we wish to be a little bit more impolite, you're being a lazy fuck. But yeah, there is more Bubsy content. The game seems to actually be good, but also it was definitely not complete. And I know that it's not unusual for a Bubsy game to be short, but that might have been a little bit, you know, people were completing Woolly's Strike Back with enough time that they were able to return it on Steam. And I'm not talking about, like, hardcore gamers. I'm talking about, like, average Joes. And average people who aren't called Joe. So, you know, Bubsy 4D felt like that kind of length. From what I was seeing from it, when I was watching people play it, I was like, hey, yeah, I played the demo. Is there actually more to the game than the demo now? Or not? Because I was not completely sure. Anyway. Yeah, yes. There is now more content to Bubsy 4D. So now it might feel like a real game as opposed to a $20 demo. And by $20, I mean, I think it's now set at a permanent price of $18. Or maybe that's just Steam lying to me a little bit, because that is a price point that was listed for the game. It might be just that from a bundle that I already own the other game for. I don't know offhand. I didn't go look any further than my wish list page, because I was removing something from my wish list earlier. Because it was DLC for a game that I finally played, and I realized, oh yeah, I don't actually like this game that much. Anyway. Okay, so it looks like actually these grievers are just the same, like kind of the same species as a little more, now that I think about it. So it's the consequence of their genetic engineering shit going on. Well, you're not being very subtle about what sort of ideological anything you have to say in this game, and that's fair. You know, reasonable point. Although also, why the fuck did you call it green energy? But I digress. Let's, okay, that's just the same cutscene. I don't know why I thought it was something different. I think my brain switched off from the fact that by this series status, that felt kind of long. Did I say status? I think I meant standards. 5 damaged. Data cannot be read. Whoa. Okay, I'm curious. Let me check my map. I want to see how much I skipped over, and the answer is that shouldn't be anything that of any real import that I skipped over. So alright, we got some shit to check out here, I guess. Hooray! Some more shot expansion. Yay! Yeah, that's the place we already were. Those guys are a little bit beefier than the other bugs, I guess. Yeah, but here we go. This should be working now.
Come back to the control room. I'm waiting for you upstairs.
It's gonna take me a minute, dude. And I fucked up and gotten attacked with those guys again too. Well, it's like I said. Every time I forget to just start coming into rooms with the scan visor on, that's when it happens. Wrong one.
What the? Something triggered the alarm. I can't override security.
That's the game saying, "Hey, go in the ball hole here."
I'm not sure what's happening. This whole facility just went into lockdown.
It's because we're some kind of creature they don't know what we are. Oh, I keep doing that. Whoops. Alright, you guys got anything? Ah, they're all dead. They are thawed out, so... Oh, yeah, I had a feeling this was going to happen at some point. We gotta fight these nasty boys here. Still in the storage bay, so we gotta enter the maintenance tunnel here. They probably get more of these kind of sweeping-looking views here. Thing up there.
A lot of activity. What's happening down there?
By the way, he no longer sounds like Discount Colonel. Whatever I said about that before, I am no longer correct. Keep rolling. Oh, sorry. I just sort of slipped into that for a second. Happens every once in a while for some reason. In any case, I probably don't have to inform most of you of the fact that cryonic storage like this doesn't work for living things, like, at all. Because freezing all of the liquid in their flesh tends to fucking destroy them, you know? Because when you freeze water, it expands. So anything that is suddenly unfrozen, assuming that somehow you also jumpstart vitals in all the other ways, it's going to be severely damaged. Obviously, this is not unusual across, like, any of science fiction. I'm not in here to be, like, shitting on this game specifically for that. I'm just pointing it out that this is considered an accepted break from reality. Alright, so we're back in this area. Now, hold on. The description of that said indestructible earlier, right? Here. It's the same panel it had before. Security gate malfunctioning. Circuits are torn, and it is not receiving any current. The gate material is otherwise indestructible. Which is obviously a load of horse shit, because it's referring, I guess, only to what Samus can be allowed to do. But, you know, you could word that better. Basically, is the big takeaway here. Is that someone could have done that better, but they didn't. So good job, whoever didn't do that better. I thought I saw one trying to escape into the walls, but not quite the way you were thinking. But hey, go save. Middle of the siege. They make a weird noise. Like, for what reason? Is it because we now technically know that they're basically Lemorne zombies?
Samus, you copy. I got red dots on my radar.
Oh yeah? No kidding. Unfortunately, because Samus just never talks to anybody. Thanks a lot, Other M, for being bad. What breaks this? Physical force is required to... Okay. I didn't see a lock onto it before, so we gotta give this the old lasso treatment here. And it's a good thing we came back here because... Another missile pack, that's good. Excellent. Give me that map data. That's pretty useful. I don't know if there's going to be anything new in any of these. Let's take a look anyway. Somewhere a little more secure, buddy. If that exists. Assume it does. Yeah, I'm still hearing the weird noise they make. How do they make that weird noise? What the hell? Are they, like, emitting 5G signal or something? Look, I'm just saying if these things are empowered by green energy, you are starting to sound a little bit like... It will make the game start to sound a little bit more like it's powered by conspiracy theories, you know? I don't know what I need for that. I'll find out eventually. That thing basically dropped right on my head. Wow. What I get for bull rushing that, I guess. Shit. How am I supposed to get up from here, actually? Well, now it's scan time. Maybe these just respond to you jumping at them? Let's find out. Well, it would help if I got enough height there first. Yeah, I don't really know that that's doable. So it appears that you can't place two bombs in the exact same location, which is a problem. That's an issue. So, I've got to figure out what the hell I'm missing here. Okay. I don't know how I was supposed to figure that out other than just try it. Because there doesn't seem to have been like a thing to scan for that earlier that I know of.
Samus, you made it. Let's take care of this.
Ah, joy of joys. We gotta cover this guy while we fight like a million of these Grievers, huh? Yeah, we got this case of Griever madness here. I am gonna get in the ring, so that way I can actually fight these guys. I'm sorry, was I supposed to stay up there? Oh, he's taking damage. The moment I drop down, they stop dropping down the middle. You a machine, sir? Might be. Okay, well I can shoot a healing beam at him through that thing. That's interesting. They kind of aren't, sir.
Target down. I think we're clear.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually quite easy.
Solid work, Samus. Power's back online. Feels like the heat is too. Might be what's drawing those strange creatures. You'll be able to use that elevator now. It'll give you access to the deepest level.
Oh, cool.
I'll hang back and try to open the gate from up here. The rest is up to you.
Where's the nearest save point? Because I could probably use that right now. Oh, it's all the way back outside. I mean, it is something at least. Can I go in here and do what's in here? No, this is a different pathway. Whoops. That's right, this thing is linked to a bomb slot, I think. Oh, controlled by the main terminal. I'm thinking of somewhere else. Anyway. We're locked in, so we can't use the... We can't use the outside save point. Fuck. I hope there's one before... This leads to a boss. This leads to a boss. No, there's one before that. Save point before it. Lock. Yeah. All right. Let's keep getting in here. Just keep going.
I tried to open that gate, but it won't respond. See anything?
Just use some of this.
That did the trick. Opening now.
It's a very good thing, I guess, on some level, that we're basically just going through a bunch of Lamorne facilities with this, because... I mean, if it means all our tech is compatible... Just make sure none of these have, like, free, any of that stuff in them. Alright, Keratos. A giant cingulata-like organism covered in a hard shell. Cingulata is a relative of the modern armadillo. Only lives in extremely frigid areas and is capable of creating ice from air moisture. It possesses sensory organs below the carapace on its head and opens its shell to identify enemies or attack with its mouth. Metroid fusion has altered its body composition, leaving its core completely exposed. Alright. What can we see about this thing? Behind the shell segment of its head or sensory. Okay, so I guess we want to bomb its underside. Because surely we're not going to be able to, like, actually shoot it in the face and that... No, I apologize. I think that's actually the main target, is the... is that we have to hit the the yellow thing when it's open. And then it's going to start going into a type of, like, rage mode here afterwards. At which point we want to bomb it. I said bomb it, not vomit, but this thing effectively being, you know, sort of 2.0 version of Boost Guardian does kind of make me want to vomit in its own way. Oh! Okay, I was wrong. You literally don't have to drop bombs on it at all. You just have to wait for it to get stuck in the wall. So this is actually a fight where the ball kind of doesn't matter. It's the A button to break out of being frozen. God, I really hope that there's some sort of thing that I can shoot for pickups, because otherwise this is going to be quite the adventure of a fight here. Might actually present a challenge. We don't like that. Take damage from that? It didn't look like it, actually. It's wild to imagine, but hey. I admit I wasn't paying as good attention as I probably should, but hey. Oh. Yeah, okay, it just deals 10 damage, which is really nothing for us getting hit by this fucking boulder creature here. God, I would kill to have super missiles right now, because then it would help me feel like I'm doing stuff, but I digress. Whoop. It's coming in hot. And you can see Keratos has like 2 different kinds of shockwaves. One's pretty shallow and the other one is less so. I assume they have different hit detections, but I don't know for sure. Oh, because I was holding a thing under the bottom of the controller. Gotcha, you gotta shoot that, and that does give us some stuff, so that's good. I only just realized that you could actually shoot that and do damage to it. I think before, when I bombed it, it was mostly a panic move. Oh, hey, here comes the ball. And he's doing a lot more damage in this. Bro! Why do you do 30 damage in that form, and yet when you're rolling up the other way, it's only 10? Like, I don't get it, man. That legit doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, so I may have just had to slam this thing into the right wall segment earlier, and I wasn't doing that properly. Because, yeah, you can see the ice is busting off every time. Well, that was shockingly easy. Yeah, I mean, our discount Thardus Boost Guardian guy here is kind of irritating, but so far he doesn't seem anywhere near as hard as, well, certainly not as hard as Boost Guardian. Comparable to Thardus? Yeah, probably. But also Thardus is mostly a boss where the big killer was the sheer unbridled tedium of it all. Whoa! Alright, please let this be the end. Come on! Yeah! Please don't have another phase. And there's our boost ball. Hell yeah. And yeah, basically controls the same as the previous game. Well, that boss was shockingly easy. Game is for babies. Oh, man. This is an interesting little device that we're seeing here. And there we go. Teleporter key number 4. Wow. That's kind of crazy, actually. And by that I mean I think it's number 3, actually. but I might have been thinking the wrong number because we went into the volcano area and we weren't able to continue.
You've done well, Samus. I'll meet you up top.
I wasn't sure if maybe it looked a little bit more defrosted for a second there, but I think I was just imagining it, really. I miss being able to flick the right stick in order to just very simply open up the in order to jump, you know?
Samus. Looks like you got what you came for. A message came through the station radio while you were gone. Somebody named Specialist Mackenzie. He sent over the coordinates for base camp, so I'll be on my way soon. Now, I've been on a lot of missions. This has always protected me. May Solon light your path. You go on ahead. There's a healing pod up here, and I'll be as good as new in no time.
He's got a thing there. Alright, well. I wonder if he's going to give that to us at some point. It's like, hey, that's the ice gun. Find out, I guess. Okay, yeah, you've got to use the spinner to power the launcher. Is there a way into it, or you just keep spinning until it works? Okay, you have to actually spin it in the indicated direction. Which is sensible, but I wasn't sure because it seemed like that wasn't a thing I needed to do before. But hey, cool. Helpful little bit of fast travel. Anyway, how do we deal with this crane again? Ah, right. The stuff is on the other side. This is where we needed to power on the bomb slot, right? But it doesn't seem to be enabled right now. What's your deal? Oh. Okay. My bad. I feel a little confused right now. Actually, let me try scanning the area here and see. Not that kind of scanning. You know, searching the area. Look for a psychic lasso target. That might be the thing to do here. Or something I can boost ball on. Is there like an obvious half-pipe type of structure around here? I actually don't see one. I mean, we got some stuff that sort of looks like they could be quarter pipes, but that's not going to go anywhere for us, right? Put on our scan visor again. The boxes, because those could get in the way of our searching here. Circuitry is exposed. Can I hit that with anything? Bomb throw? Bombs? Nope, doesn't seem like it. That's working. One gate has a problem there. What am I missing? Ah, fuck it. I'm just... Oh, right. I'm being dumb. As usual. Do things this way. This is probably not going to have the range, because... strangely enough, I've recently realized this has a range factor. It also helps if I aim it correctly, you know? And just continue to guided missile my ass over. Fuck! I'm so bad at telling some of the controls on this, you know? Because the fact that it's not vertically reversed feels wrong to me. Okay, we hit it. Alright. Now that I've done making a complete ass out of myself here. Eesh. Right. Now I remember. This said that it's controlled by the spinner. I don't know what I was waiting for it to tell me to do there, but I was. Activate it. Lasso target, maybe? Needed a rocket? Bomb? Psychic energy? Just interact with it? Yeah, okay, it's literally just interact with it. Oh, the ice chip was sitting there. I don't know why I thought maybe it would be inside, but hey. Well, with that figured out and my really embarrassing work at puzzle solving there, that's going to do for today. Let's go ahead and save up. And next time, hopefully I will remember to take that back to Miles and get the ice beam. Or whatever it's called in this game.